The story kicks off with a heartbreaking scene. Massive trees in the Amazon rainforest are being chopped down. The destruction is so extreme that it is wiping out the homes of the native tribal people who've lived there for generations. Then, we're taken to a university in the USA, where a girl named Justine is attending classes with her roommate. In one of their sessions, the teacher starts talking about how shocking and brutal some tribal traditions still are, especially those inflicted on African women. Justina's stunned face shows fear and disbelief. Later, when Justine is alone, a boy walks up to her and says, Alejandro sent her a plate along with an invitation to a meeting. Alejandro isn't just anyone. He's the leader of a college group that travels across the world fighting for the environment. He's bold, magnetic, and always chasing another cause. Justine, already passionate about social work, feels a spark and decides to attend the meeting that evening. Alejandro steps forward and boldly announces the group's daring new plan. They heading deep into the Amazon rainforest to defend a local tribe. A powerful multinational corporation is tearing down the forest just to drill for petroleum buried beneath the ground. He warns the group that the company isn't acting alone. They've brought in retired soldiers for backup. But Alejandro's plan is fearless. Stop the operation and livestream everything to grab international media attention and pressure the company to back off. Fired up, Justine agrees to join the cause. Others quickly follow. The next day, she lies to her father and influential lawyer at the UN, telling him she is simply going on a trip with friends. With her secret intact, she links up with the group and meets Alejandro's friend, the one financing their entire mission. Soon, they board a private plane, fly to a remote location, and hop on rickshaws to reach a small hotel. After grabbing a meal and catching some rest, they load into a boat and head straight for the heart of the Amazon. Once there, they put on matching uniforms, march to the company's site, chain themselves to trees and bulldozers, throw on masks, and begin filming the protests live. Their mission is crystal clear: expose the truth to the world. Suddenly, chaos erupts. Brevet military forces storm in and begin dragging the protesters away, but most of them are tightly chained and locked in place. Justine, however, isn't so lucky. Her lock is defective and pops open. A soldier grabs her, presses a gun to her head, and coldly threatens to shoot. Justine screams in fear, pleading for help, but Alejandro and the others don't move an inch. They just keep filming, capturing everything for the light. Then, one of them actually says, "Kill her." Her father's a UN lawyer. Let's see what happens then. Justine is frozen in shock, but the video spreads like wildfire. Public outrage explodes, and under heavy media pressure, the military is forced to back off and let them go. The company has no choice but to halt its operations. Police soon arrive and arrest the group, but Justine's friend slips a bribe to get them out. They quickly board their private plane, laughing and celebrating their victory. Alejandro proudly announces that their video has gone viral. They're famous now. But Justine isn't celebrating. Deep inside, she feels betrayed. It hits her they only used her to shield themselves. Out of nowhere, disaster strikes. The plane's engine sputters and fails midair. The pilot panics, losing control as the aircraft plunges toward the dense jungle below. It crashes violently into the trees, and 2 passengers are thrown out mid-fall. The wreck is brutal. Branches snap, metal bends, and the plane crash lands with a thunderous impact. Both pilots are killed instantly, along with Alejandro's friend and several others. Blood is everywhere, bodies are scattered, and the survivors crawl out of the wreckage in shock. Just moments later, boom, the entire plane explodes behind them. Justine, Alejandro, and a few others make it out alive but are visibly shaken. Their phones are dead. No signal, no help. One boy frantically digs through the wreckage, searching for his GPS device to send out a call for rescue. Suddenly, eerie noises echo from deep within the jungle. Alejandro's girlfriend cautiously heads toward the sound, but an arrow pierces her without warning. Alejandro rushes to her, only to be struck down by a second arrow, killing him instantly. The group freezes in fear. They're being hunted. One by one, they're shot with tranquilizer arrows. Even the boy who found his GPS is knocked out cold. The tribe hauls the group onto a boat and rows them deep into their hidden village. Their bodies are painted in bold red, and their appearance is absolutely terrifying. As the captives are dragged through the jungle path, the tribe members yank at their hair, laughing as the group trembles in fear. Then horror strikes. They spot corpses hanging from the trees. The truth hits them like a punch. This is a cannibal tribe. Suddenly, a female leader steps forward, her body covered in eerie yellow paint. With a sharp command, she orders the others to stop the harassment and begins examining the group with piercing eyes. Moments later, she gives the chilling order: lock them all in a cage. Alejandro clutches a phone, but there's no signal. Nothing works. Panic rises when they realize one person is missing. Peering through the cage, they watch helplessly as the tribe drags him away. The female leader strokes his face, forces him to drink a strange liquid, lays him on a stone slab, and then gouges out his eyes. She holds him up proudly as the tribe erupts in cheers. Next, a male leader steps in and brutally slices off his limbs and head. Inside the cage, The rest of the group trembles in terror, covering their faces, unable to watch. The tribal women cook his remains, and soon the tribe feasts on his flesh. One girl throws up in Shakandi. Tribal children laugh and point at her. That night, as fear grips their hearts, the group whispers among themselves. They all regret coming here. If they hadn't tried to stop that company, maybe none of this would have happened. Alejandro finally admits the unthinkable. He and the guy who funded the trip only brought everyone here for money. Another corporation had paid them to sabotage the first company. He pocketed the cash, gained fame, and used them all. Even worse, he confesses that he brought Justine along only because her father works at the UN, in case things went south. He believed her dad could bail them out. The group is furious. Rage fills the cage. They feel betrayed, used, and trapped. The next morning, a girl grabs Justine's flute necklace and creates a sound with it. The noise draws attention. A male tribal leader arrives and coldly selects 3 girls. What happens next is terrifying. He performs a physical test to see who's a virgin. Justine is found to be one, and she's dragged away to a separate hut. The other 2 girls are thrown back into the cage. The group knows they can't wait around. They must act. A boy throws Alejandro's phone, which plays a ringtone, luring one guard away. Seizing the moment, one girl manages to escape with help. Later, the tribe returns Justine to the cage. Her body is painted with strange markings, and she's dazed. She doesn't remember anything. Then they're given food. But as one girl stirs through her bowl, her face turns pale. She finds a chunk of skin with a tattoo. It's from the girl who escaped. Realizing the tribe killed and cooked her, she shatters the bowl and, in horror and despair, uses the sharp edge to slit her own throat. In a desperate move, one boy stuffs marijuana into the mouth of the girl who just took her own life, hoping the tribe will get high after eating her. Shockingly, the plan works. The tribe feasts, and soon, they begin acting dizzy and sluggish. Some pass out completely. This gives Justine and Daniel the perfect chance. They break out of the cage and run for it. But Ali, he chooses survival over loyalty. He knocks out one of his own teammates, thinking, if the tribe finds him unconscious, they'll eat him first and I'll stay alive longer. Later, that boy wakes up, only to see 2 tribal members sitting nearby, giggling. He assumes they're still high and tries to distract them, but suddenly, they grab his hand and start chewing on it. He screams and tries to escape, but it's too late. The tribe swarms him and devours him alive. Meanwhile, Justine and Daniel reach a river and spot smoke from the crash site. Justine slips and falls into the water. Daniel quickly extends a branch and pulls her to safety. They arrive at the wreckage only to find their friends' bodies hanging from trees. Suddenly, they hear a ringtone coming from a corpse's pocket. As they reach for it, tribal members strike and knock them both unconscious. The next morning, Justine wakes up in horror. She's being prepared for some kind of ritual. Nearby, Daniel is tied to a pole, screaming as his limbs are snapped and angry ants are poured onto his body. The female tribe leader begins a strange and chilling ritual on Justine, but suddenly a tribesman storms in with urgent news. Outsiders have arrived and are cutting down trees. The entire tribe panics and rushes off to confront them, leaving only the children behind to guard Ella. Seizing the moment, a little girl who remembered the sweet tune Justine once played on her flute quietly sneaks over and unties her. Justine bolts toward Daniel, who's tied up and in unbearable pain. She desperately wants to save him, but Daniel begs for release instead. With heartbreaking mercy, the little girl knocks him out and ends his suffering. With the girl leading the way, Justine escapes into the jungle. As a token of gratitude, she gives the child her treasured flute necklace. But just when she thinks she's free, another tribal girl and her father step in to stop her. Before they can reach her, a terrifying creature, a Yagli on a deadly jaguar-lion hybrid, steps onto the path. The tribe freezes in fear. They dare not follow. Fortunately, the beast is already hunted and lies peacefully nearby, allowing Justine to slip away unharmed. Soon after, Justine stumbles upon armed military forces shooting at the tribe. Thinking fast, she throws her hands in the air, shouts that she's American, and pretends to be filming. "Stop, I'm a survivor," she cries. The soldiers rescue her and fly her away in a helicopter. When they ask if there are any other survivors, she lies, "No, I was the only one." She makes it home, alive, and silent. Later, during the official investigation, Justine lies once more, claiming that all her friends died in the crash and that the tribe treated her kindly, never causing her any harm. She hides the horrifying truth because she fears that if the government knew what really happened, they'd wipe out the entire tribe and destroy what's left of the Amazon rain. But just when she thinks it's over, Justine gets a call from Alejandro's sister. She shares a shocking satellite image. Alejandro is still alive, deep in the jungle, his entire body painted black, as if he's now one of them. The end.